All right, everybody. Hope you are having an unbelievable Saturday. I hope the weather's good. If it's raining, some places need it. We're going to be honest. You know, some places need it, especially right now. We appreciate you guys joining us as well on this Saturday. We dropped our Big Ten West predictions earlier this week. I had Purdue winning it, caused a little bit of a fuss, put my Joe Tiller hat on and Gene Katie hat on and really showed the Boilermakers some love. But if we're going to drop the Big Ten West predictions, then we have to drop the Big Ten East. Now, we all know the Big Ten East is the Godzilla of this conference.
Yes.
They somehow, in the alignment, figured out a way to put all the best teams in one division. So it's kind of like the grown-ups table and the kids table at Thanksgiving.
It is like that.
Somebody in the West is trying to get to the grown-ups table. I don't see it happening anytime soon. But I'll go ahead and kick this thing off. I've made it known. I think Ohio State is going to play Alabama in the national championship. I think Alabama is going to beat them, but I think C.J. Stroud wins the Heisman. When I look at Ohio State, we always know, I know they lost Olave, I know they lost a lot of talent, but we know that Ohio State is absolutely loaded. They're in that 4 or 5 team range with Alabama and Georgia right now, where they are going to just cycle in the best of the best, whether it's through the high school ranks or whether it's through the portal. And there is nothing that is more motivating to an 18 to 22-year-old than being embarrassed in front of all your friends. And last year, with Michigan making the run, making the playoff, finally beating Ohio State, they are going to come back with a vengeance, an absolute vengeance. And like I said, embarrassment is a very motivating factor. Ryan Day, even right after they beat Utah in the bowl game, really acted like he didn't care about the bowl game. They're worried about what's going to happen next year. So, having said that, I'm going to put Ohio State 9-0 and winning the Big Ten East. I think they come back this year. They turn the tide, per se. And I know they got some tough games. They go to Penn State. There's some tough games on the schedule, but I feel like they can navigate it. I think they're that talented. I've got Michigan going 7-2, Coney.
Look at
I've
that.
got them going 7-2.
Look at that.
I think they lose to Ohio State, and another loss I think is going to be snuck in there, and I think it's going to be at home. Because when you look at their games on the road outside of Ohio State, they should be favored in pretty much every one of them. But I do think they may fall down in one of those games, the Jim Harbaugh special. So give me Michigan 7-2. Now, Michigan State, I've got going 6-3. Guys, I've got going 6-3, but I am on the Mel Tucker train. I think you're going to see Michigan State's overall team speed, athleticism, ability to break away and make big plays in the offensive game continue to increase as he continues to recruit at a very high level. We're already seeing that right now. I love Peyton Thorne. 27 touchdowns last year, 10 interceptions. We know Michigan State's always going to have a good ground game. They're going to be physical up front, but I think bringing back that experienced quarterback in this division is going to be huge. And like I said, I know they've lost some guys, but then you look defensively, Mel Tucker is amazing at putting guys in position defensively to make plays, and he understands that the game is won and lost up front. It's the absolute best recipe for the game. I think he knows how to manipulate it. Now, the biggest question mark I have for Michigan State, one of the wildest stats that I've ever seen in my life. How can you lead the Big Ten in sacks, but be 11th in the league on third down defense?
Yeah.
Those two things should not ever coexist. It absolutely blows my mind. I think they have a solid year. I think he is building that place up to start making a run a little bit at Ohio State. They've had success against Michigan. Michigan's not the problem. Michigan has not been the problem for, as Cone says, the green ones. So I got them going 6-3, and then Penn State. James Franklin, what he did at Vanderbilt was an absolute spell book, winning 9 games twice there. But they've kind of fallen down a little bit these past couple years. I know Sean Clifford comes back. I know they have some heir apparent at receiver, but I don't believe he's better than Jahan Dotson until I see it. Because Jahan Dotson is a Hogwarts graduate to the fullest. I think he's going to make a ton of noise for the Commanders in the league. I watched him pull Auburn's pants down in front of everybody in the planet last year. Auburn couldn't cover him if they had a news team. This guy is unbelievable, but he's gone. So having to replace that defensively, we know Penn State, LBU, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be somewhat solid defensively, but I don't think in this division they're going to ball. I just don't see it. I don't believe in James Franklin as much as everybody else does, but what a great job by him and his agent to dangle that USC job in front of everybody, and then he gets a mega contract to come back. But if he doesn't do well this year, that seat's going to start heating up. And I'm not talking about the seat warm in your front seat. So I got him going 5-4. Then Maryland, love Mike Loxley.
Yep.
Coached his son, Kai,
really?
junior college. unbelievable individual. Love Kai, love that family. I know they've struggled since he's been there. I think they're obviously under 500. You got little Tua there, Tagovailoa at quarterback. You know, he had a tough year in 2020, really turned it on last year, especially at the end. They know he's their number one guy, but Maryland has a problem of only playing well against bad teams. They've got to get past that. But I still don't think they have the roster. I still don't think they have the defense to be able to win the big-time games. They're fine against the low ballers. They can ball. They'll go for 400 yards. They'll hit you in the mouth. But when they play big dogs, they haven't been able to get over the hump, pun intended. Indiana, I got them going 2-7. Tom Allen fired. The DC's gone. The OC's gone.
Oh boy, Nick Sheridan.
They've revamped the whole thing. You went 2-10, and I think you went 0 for gopher in the league last year. So when I look at Indiana, you got Bazelak from Missouri. It's going to be a battle at quarterback. I think he's going to win it. He struggles with interceptions. I think he had 23 touchdowns, 17 interceptions last year, around that number. I don't believe he can be the guy to get Indiana over the hump. Defensively last year, I was shocked at how bad they were. I think they went from giving up 23 points a game to like 33.6, something like that. So Indiana, they've overhauled the roster. They got Sean Shivers from Auburn, the running back. I know they got the Henderson kid, I believe, from North Carolina as well. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but that's not saying much. I got them 2-7. And then Rutgers. Last time Greg Schiano was there, it took him 4 years to get it rolling. And with that roster, it may take him more than 4 years to get it rolling. They aren't really good in any aspect. I hate to say it. I think they're going to sneak one win this year. One win because Schiano's that good of a coach. But I'll tell you this. Like Mel Tucker said about Michigan State last year, that we felt like we got the most out of that roster. Greg Schiano is going to find a way to get the most out of this roster. Yeah. But that's not saying much in my opinion. But again, I believe in Greg Schiano over the long term. Yeah. And Rutgers hadn't had enough success lately to be like, all right, we're going to go get the next guy. But that roster has got to improve. But Schiano, I think, will get them competitive here in a couple of years.
Buckeyes and the boys.
You got anything different over there?
A little bit different.
Okay.
I do have Ohio State winning. Go ahead and pull it up.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I'm sorry, Cone. I can't wait to be
Don't apologize to me.
See what yours.
Tell the fans what you think.
I can't wait to see what yours is.
You have no idea what my list looks like.
I get mine pulled up.
You don't know what my list looks like.
I bet I can guess one.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like Cone may have a little bit of witchcraft.
Okay. All right. The Buckeyes 8-1. Cone losing to Penn State.
You got them
on the road.
Whoa.
I think Penn State might beat them up.
It's got to be a whiteout, right?
Oh, it's a whiteout. Got to be a whiteout.
Hold on. What are you saying now? You have the Buckeyes losing to Penn State?
Mm-hmm.
Then that means you have Michigan beating them in the horseshoe. They're both 8-1. Michigan would win the tiebreaker. So why isn't Michigan on top?
Well, they're beating Michigan.
Huh?
Ohio State's beating Michigan.
So, okay.
He has Ohio State losing
to Penn State,
but beating Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they got the head-to-head.
So they win that. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yep. Don't confuse me.
Yeah, I see what. Look, Cone's trying.
I don't need you to make moves in your ivory tower.
I just need to make sure that you know your list.
Okay. Well, I do know my list.
Well, I feel like Cone's on some MK Ultra stuff right now.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I'm wondering what's in these drinks. Yeah, it's
athletic greens.
All right, hey, Michigan 8-1. Hey, 8-1. Great job, Blue.
Okay.
Great job. I know they lost a lot, but I still think Michigan will be a very good football team. I think their defense won't be as good as well, but I think they do improve a little bit on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay, and so you have Michigan losing to the Buckeyes at the horseshoe.
Then I have Penn State 7-2, losing to Purdue week 1 on the road. But then we're going to right the ship. Sean Clifford, you bring in 2 receivers, one who's almost as good as Jahad Dotson. I don't believe it until I see it. I agree. But I think the one thing you go back to Penn State is they couldn't run the ball last year.
Yeah.
Couldn't run it. And the offensive line was not good. I feel like they are going to take strides in the running game. And up front, I believe in Sean Clifford to a certain extent. But I do have them beating the Buckeyes this year, going 7-2. Michigan State, the weirdest team out of all this to me. All right? Kenneth Walker's gone.
Gonzo.
Gone. He's what made their good running game into a great running game. Well, they were last in third downs on defense, also last in passing defense, efficiency. That's not going to get it done. I think they will be a good team, but I don't think they take another step up this year. I don't. I think they're mediocre. I don't trust their defense enough. Their offense in big games will not be good enough to beat teams that they have to beat to get over the hump. Maryland, I'm sorry, you're giving up 40 points a game last year on defense. You're giving up 38.9 points a game.
That's a lot.
You're not going to win. I don't care if you throw it 50 times a game. You're not going to win a lot of football games by doing that. So I got them 2-7. Indiana, sorry, don't believe in it. You can bring in Bazelak, Sean Shivers. He's going to do one thing. He's going to try to run through people. He's 5'7" or 5'6", so it's not going to work. And then Rutgers 0-9. You're the Vandy of the Big Ten.
I will say, I do think Sean Shivers is good at running through people. The problem is he seeks contact and doesn't seek the end zone.
And it's
Sean
also a
Shivers
problem-
ran through Alabama's safety like undercooked chicken.
Yeah,
that's not his problem.
I mean, that's fine. You can keep trying to do that, but sooner or later you have to make people miss. You're
that's
not a giant. You know, you're not. You're actually the opposite of the giant. He's a good player, yeah, but a running back is exactly what you said. It's not about just running through everybody. It's cool you ran someone over. This isn't high school. Go score a touchdown.
You know what they call that? They call that a fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Then
what a
Rutgers-
fullback is.
Then Rutgers 0-9.
Look.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I like it, guys. I like it.
Go ahead.
Not so fast, my friend. Bring up my list.
David.
Old allegiances die hard. There go the boys in blue at the top of the list. But you'll notice they're not 9-0.
Who they lose to?
So who are they losing to? The green ones at home. Because until I see Jim Harbaugh can beat Michigan State, then I just don't believe it. Okay, so I think they lose to them in the big house, but they go on the road to the Horseshoe. Figure out a way to get a win against the Buckeyes and win the East, all right? At least that's what I'm saying in July. All right? But I like your pick of the Buckeyes playing in the national title and C.J. Stroud possibly winning a Heisman Trophy. I like both of those picks. Let's move on down to Penn State here. I think I have Penn State above Michigan State just like you do, but not because Michigan State's record's any worse. I have them both going 7-2. To me, it all comes down to the last game of the season when they play each other, and that game is at Penn State. If it were in East Lansing, I would have Michigan State winning it, and I'd have them finishing third. But it happens to be in Happy Valley. That's how I have it shaken out. I also am a fan of Mike Loxley.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a great job at Maryland. They have young Tagovailoa over there. I think they win at least 3 games, probably more. Then let's move on to Indiana and Rutgers. I hope that I'm wrong about these two teams because Tom Allen is a great coach and Greg Schiano is a great coach. And they're probably going to mess around and beat some teams that we don't have right now. But this is where we have to have them in the order right now based off the roster that we're seeing in its entirety, right?
Yeah.
As far as Indiana last year, look, my boy Nick Sheridan was the OC, only lasted 1 year. Michael Penix Jr. got hurt. That really hand-tied him. It just happens, you know, and you have to make a move. Nick Sheridan's going to come back strong. I still think Tom Allen's the right man for that job. I think Greg Schiano's going to do big things at Rutgers, so let's see what happens. But the Big Ten East, just like you said, it is a juggernaut, possibly the second best division in football.
Yeah, and you know, I wonder if there's and I'm sure there is, but if there is a Power 5 school out there that had more turnover from last year to this year than Indiana. Because again, it wasn't just the coaches. All the running backs are gone. The quarterback is gone. You're going to see Allen kind of really get his hand in the defense a little bit more this year. It's a total philosophical change, it looks like. And I got to give credit to Coach Allen for doing that. It takes, after the year they had before, where you remember Indiana kind of came out of nowhere. Beat Michigan. They had everybody. Year. And then you go from hero to zero, and you're malleable enough to understand I need to make changes. Not only that, I need to make drastic changes. But I look at the coaches in this division. I mean, think what you want about Jim Harbaugh. It's a big name. We know what Ryan Day's done at Ohio State. James Franklin's a huge name who's had success before, needs to turn around. Mel Tucker, an up-and-coming superstar.
He got paid.
And he should have got paid. It was a great move for Michigan State. Loxley at Maryland, Allen at Indiana, and Greg Schiano at Rutgers. That is a deep bench for coaches in one division. I think it shows you the Big Ten and again, their commitment to not just wanting to overhaul the top teams. I think they really understand, like the SEC does, if we all eat or we're all competitive, it's better for the conference.
I want to point out one more game because I heard you talking about it, that Penn State and Purdue game.
Man,
that's going to be a good game. And I have Purdue winning. I have Purdue going 7-2, winning the West just like you do, but losing that game to Penn State. So I think that that's going to be a dogfight, and that will set the tone early. I wonder, is that game before Penn State goes to Auburn or after? I'll have to look at that.
I want to say it's the first. I want to say it's before.
It might be week one. So that's going to set the tone for a lot of things.
And can I say this? I hate conference games week one.
You do?
I hate it. I hate it. It's so ridiculous. You have a conference schedule for a reason. Like, you have it for a reason. Like it makes no sense to me. It just, again, we see this in baseball sometimes. They'll have a midweek game against 2 SEC teams at the beginning of the year that doesn't count toward the conference. I just don't like it because I love the non-conference matchups. Why would you play a team in your own conference week one when there's so many other teams out there?
I like big games week one. So if you can schedule them without them being in conference, fair enough. But I don't want to see every big team in the country play a group of 5 school to start.
Well, again, I mean, you can play each other, but you know you're going to play teams within your conference. It just kind of backwards to me the way I look at it. But you know what?
Fair enough.
If we have to argue about a good game, week one, I would much rather have that argument than to be on the opposite side and be like, can we find a game?
And I know.
That's worth it.
Who's the legitimate sleeper here to win it?
All right, now, are you talking about
win the division?
To win the division, the sleeper right here. So take Michigan, Ohio State off.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think they're sleepers.
The rest of the five.
Is it Michigan State?
I would say Michigan State.
It would have to be, right?
I just don't believe in Penn State that much. As much. I feel like Mel Tucker and them, and he, again, I hate to rehash it, but I said this earlier, he was quoted as saying, we legitimately got everything out of that roster we could. And I think if he does that this year with Peyton Thorne coming back, with some of the weapons that they do have, I know they lost Kenneth Walker, but I don't ever worry about Michigan State's
They're just scrappy.
They're just scrappy. They find a way, and they're not afraid.
No,
they're not scared. I got to give them credit. Michigan State does not bow down to anyone, and Mel Tucker.
Should I go get while we're talking?
Let's go ahead and get it. Go get it. I want to give it.
Keep saying nice things about
All right.
It makes my stomach.
I got odds pulled up right here if you want.
Read them.
Okay, Ohio State to win. This is just not the this side, but it's the full Big Ten. All right, Ohio State's minus 210, Michigan plus 600, Wisconsin plus 1100, Penn State plus 1600, Iowa plus 2000, Nebraska plus 2200, Michigan State plus 2800,
Michigan State.
Purdue plus 3.
They've got Nebraska ahead of Michigan State in the odds.
Wow.
And
Wow, y'all believe in Casey Thompson a lot.
Minnesota 2800 ahead of Michigan State.
Yeah,
disrespectful.
I feel like the boat's gonna sink.
What you
What do
got?
you think about this, boys?
Ben Everson, look at this.
Whoa,
Look at this. We
the
got to
green
find a place
ones.
to put it on and put it in the studio. Ben
No, we
Everson.
don't- I have a place
Take a
picked
picture
out.
of David Cohn holding this.
I have
former
a
Michigan
place picked
quarterback.
out for this.
You have a place picked? Oh,
Yeah.
no, we're not letting you put it up.
The restroom.
Yeah, that's exactly. No, but Ben Everson, thank you, my friend. And we got the Tony Vitello signed bat. We got the Herschel Walker signed jersey. We
The
got
set's really
huge
coming
Sparty,
together.
Over here behind us.
I might
It's
sign a jersey and put it back here.
The
It's
set's
a
coming
who's who.
together,
Nobody
man.
wants that.
Nobody wants that?
No one
A lot of
wants
people.
that.
I actually got a couple.
I think you're the only one that wants that. Oh, you got a couple messages
Yeah,
about
they're
it.
like, Blaine, you need to sign a jersey. Put it
By the
back.
way, Blaine, did you see that clip that your buddy Caleb Hall put on Twitter? The one that you get hit over the middle at Spanish Fort when you got flipped?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
When did he put that on there?
Earlier.
Wait, did he? He needs to tag us. I need to see that.
No, I tagged Blaine in it.
He didn't even tag me in it.
I
Grow
know.
up.
He took a clip from you guys in high school. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I can-
but we appreciate you guys in the comments. Tell us where we messed up because again, everybody's gonna be pissed off who didn't get picked to win it. So tell us why we're wrong, where we're wrong, and give us your sleeper in the comments. Who do you guys have? Or you can tweet us. Obviously on Twitter at @JakeCrain_, at David Adam Cohn. Did I say that
Yes,
right?
sir.
At David Adam Cohn and at Blaine Crane.
You better get mine right.
At Blaine Crane or Crane?
Underscore Crain. Blaine underscore Crain.
Excuse me, Blaine underscore.
He knew
Crane.
yours, David.
Because there's no
He knew
underscores
yours, David.
or
That's fine.
percentage signs.
And we're family.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, his handle doesn't look like the name of Elon Musk's kid.
Which one?
Yeah, it's like E3
Yeah,
dash 12.
He has 9 of them.
Yeah, he's like, it's robot for money. But anyways, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following us on all platforms. I hope you're having a heck of a weekend. Grill out, have some fun, spend some time with your family.
Hey.
Appreciate y'all. See you Monday.
Stop.
Oh.